Hello students. In EVS we were discussing about the water. In previous class I have given introduction to water and the purification of water. So before we using, so what are the process is going to take place in water plant. Okay students, so today I will move towards the water for plants. Next point, the water for plants. Very first lesson I have given about some information about plants, how plant is going to prepare its food, all those things. So sometimes to grow crops we have to provide water for plants. So especially what will happen in agricultural field, the farmer is main responsibility is to provide water and to take care about the plants, all those things. So most of the farmers in India depends on rain. So because the rain is the main source of water. Usually rain won't occur throughout the year. Only in some seasons like monsoon season, earth receives maximum amount of rainfall. So usually the farmer depends on monsoon rainfall to cultivate his agricultural land, to grow the crops, all those things. And so for water management, what we used to do, we will store the water. So there are storage reservoirs are there to store the water throughout the year. To manage water for farmers and the public, we have reservoirs. So we used to call water management. Water management, we depends upon the reservoirs and the dams. So sometimes these dams are multi-purpose projects. We used to call multi-purpose projects. So not only for drinking facility, for irrigation purpose, to generate hydroelectricity, for all these things, there will be a dam in our country. So these dams will receive maximum amount of water in monsoon season. At present, for example, at present in Karnataka, almost all the dams are overflowing. So the dams are filled and it is overflowing. So after overflowing, the water level will decrease. So remaining water we can use throughout the year. So like that. So the concept of irrigation, students, to concept of irrigation. So water for plants, the concept of irrigation, it is closely associated. Each and every place in earth, it is not possible to receive a same amount of rainfall. So there will be a variation in rainfall. Some place they receive heavy rainfall. In some places there will be no rain. We have seen and we are seeing every day. See, we are close to Western Ghats. So Shumaga is close to Western Ghats. It receives maximum amount of rainfall. If you go further, means just away from the monsoon. Western Ghats, just away from the Western Ghats, the rain level will be decreases. Okay, so what will happen in such cases? So the farmers also need water for their plants and for their agricultural fields. So in such cases, we have the concept of irrigation. So means we are supplying water. The supply of water to the fields to grow crops is called irrigation. We are going to supply the water, okay, from the channels, from the storage dams. We are providing through aqueducts. Aqueducts means it is a man-made channel. It is not a natural. It is a man-made channel to provide the water. And sometimes what will happen? We have open wells, and tube wells means bore wells. We dig the bore well to get the water, to reach the water, and channels. Just now I told you. So these channels are connected from the dams to agricultural field. So the water can reach for certain kilometers. So nearly the we can supply the water from dam to the distant land nearly more than 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers. Sometimes it will reach nearly more than 300 kilometers. Okay, students. So regarding open well, tube well and channel, so there will be an information which is given in your textbook. It is simple only. Just read and understand with the help of your parents. So next I will move towards the devices for irrigation. Just hold on, students. Well, friends, next devices used for irrigation. Devices used for irrigation. So, students, nowadays, though there are many technologies have been introduced in agriculture to improve the agriculture to help the farmers. Yes, we have machine technologies. Yes or no? We have tractors. We have motors, means electric motors to pump sets to supply the water to help the farmers. Like this, there are many technologies to cut the crops, to sample the plants. Yes, we have machine technologies. So all these things are introduced to help the agricultural system in our country. So like that, some devices, means some methods are introduced for irrigation, means to help the farmers to grow the crops. So those are Furo irrigation, Furo type of irrigation, and flood irrigation and sprinkle irrigation. So we will discuss one by one. So Furo irrigation. So what is the meaning of Furo? Some ridges are made in land, in agricultural land. Some ridges. So the plants and the seeds are sampled on the ridges. On the basis of the ridges, the plants will grow, and the water will reach to these ridges with the help of furrows. Okay, I will explain what is the ridges and furrows. See, for example, so these are the ridges and these are the furrows. Ridges and the furrows. So this is done by the farmers in agricultural land. So ups and downs, we can see the ups and downs. In ups, here the plants and seeds will grow. They will sample the seeds and it will grow in the way of plants, and the water will reach to these plants with the help of furrows. So this is called Furo irrigation. Furo irrigation. Next is flood irrigation. Flood. I think everyone are familiar with flood. In case of heavy rain, the water will overflow from the rivers. Water will overflow from the rivers. So what will happen in case of heavy flood? It is not possible to cultivate the land and to grow the crops because the water, due to the work of the water and the force of the water, the crops will destroy. Okay. So in case of a little amount of the pressure, there will be a less, sometimes there will be a less work of the rivers or less work of the water. So just overflow, that's it. The rivers will overflow. So we can see the flood. So with the help of that overflowing water, the farmers will grow some crops with the help of flood irrigation. The rivers will overflow. After reaching some certain height, the water will overflow. So with the help of that, the farmers, they will grow crops. So it is called flood irrigation. So this type of irrigation we can't able to see everywhere. So nearby the bank of the rivers, we can see the flood irrigation. So we no need any technologies, or we no need to depend upon canals to supply the water. So automatically the water will supply with the help of the flood. Next is sprinkle irrigation. Sprinkle means it is an artificial rain to save the water. So it is a new kind of technology and method has been introduced in agricultural land. See, this type of irrigation we can see when the crops required very less amount of rain. Okay, for example, in open fields and in highlands where water cannot be reached, these canals, because the river water will flow only in downs and level ground. It is not flow in highlands like mountains. So during the slopes in mountain range, in such type of agricultural land, so this type of irrigation is going to introduced, and it is going to be used in to cultivate the crops, to grow the crops. It will helpful for the farmers. So sprinkler irrigation means it is an artificial rain. So one of the main advantages we can save the amount of water. We can save the amount of water. So these are all the devices used for irrigation. So these are the example which is given in your textbook. So there are many types of irrigations are there. For example, drip irrigation is there. It is also one of the important method to save the water. Especially sprinkler and drip irrigation, it is being used more in summer season. Okay students, so this is about this lesson, the water. I think this is enough for you. Just read the lesson. If you have any problems and doubts, if you feel any difficulties, please contact us. We are here to help you. Just read the lesson. Thank you.